Good morning, students. How are you? Hope all of you are well at your places. Welcome to my next session of English grammar, where the topic for today will be tenses, which are also known as verb tenses. Do you know why tenses are known as verb tenses? It is for a very simple reason that it is only verb that makes a tense. It is the change in the verb that makes a tense, a past tense, a present tense or a future tense. That is why we can more appropriately call tenses as verb tenses. So starting with the topic, there are basically three tenses as we all know: present, past and future. All the three tenses are divided into four parts. The names are common for all these three tenses. They are simple, continuous, present perfect and perfect continuous. For example, we can say present simple, present continuous, present perfect and present perfect continuous, and same is for past and for future tense. Let's start with the simple forms of all the three tenses today. To start with the first tense, let's start with simple present tense. As the word normally confuses, people get confused that simple present tense are for the activities that happen only in the present. But this is not true. Simple present tense is used for things that remain unchanged for the time that was before present, the time that is in present and the time that is to come. For example, it can be very easily or aptly described by a Hindi formula which says kal, aaj or kal. So, simple present tense are used for things that are true for kal, aaj or kal. That means things that are all time true. Now let's talk about the conditions where we use simple present tense. Normally, simple present tense is used for habits, facts, daily routine, or things that are all time true. Okay, now let's talk about habits. But before I give you the example of all these things, let me tell you about the formula for simple present tense. The formula for simple present tense is subject plus V1 plus object. Subject is always the doer of the action and object is always the receiver of the action. It is not necessary that all the sentence should have an object, but yes, a sentence should always have a subject and a verb to call it as a sentence. Fine? So this is the formula of our simple present tense, and you all very well know what is V1 because I have explained these are the forms of main verbs which I have explained in my last video. So if you want to refer it again, you can go back to my last video and study what are the main verbs and what are the helping verbs. So this is the formula for simple present tense. Now let's talk about some examples. Let's talk about a habit. For example, if I talk about myself, my habit is I wake up early in the morning. Now, there can also be a fact. I can say I am a teacher. This is a fact about me. Now see, here the word I is subject, wake up is a verb, there's no object in this sentence, but wake is V1 form. Similarly here, I is again a subject, Am is the V1 form. Normally, am is termed as helping verb, but as I have told you in my last video that when there is no other helping verb in the sentence, we can refer a helping verb to as a main verb. Okay, so here it's a fact about me that I am a teacher. That means for a longer duration of time, मैं teacher थी, मैं teacher हूँ और मैं teacher ही रहूँगी. So again, it signifies this formula. Similarly, I wake up early in the morning. Now there can also be a scientific fact. That what is a scientific fact here? Earth is round, or Earth revolves around the sun. These are the facts which can never change with time. Or you can also say water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Then we can also say that there's another scientific fact, rose is red, nature is beautiful. All the things which never changes come under this category. Let's take another example. Ram plays cricket. Now this is the fact, or you can say this is the thing which is true about Ram. So Ram here is subject, plays here is V1, and Ram plays what? Cricket. So what is an object? Object is the word that receives the action. To find out the object, you always need to ask a question, what or who with the verb. So if I ask Ram plays what? You get the answer cricket, then you can say there's the object in the sentence. But here if I ask, I wake up, what? No answer. I wake up, who? No answer. That means there's no object in this sentence. So these are some of the sentence, but I have written two different subject here to explain you that I here belongs to the plural group, hence it is considered as a plural subject and it takes the plural verb, and that is wake. But if in case I would have used here the subject he, then my verb would have been he wakes up, because he is a singular subject and it takes a singular verb. That was explained in detail in my last video. Same goes here. Ram plays cricket. So Ram is a singular verb and that takes, Ram is a singular subject, sorry, and plays is a singular verb. These kinds of sentences are also called as affirmative sentences because they tell you something about someone. They are normal statements. So along with this, I am also going to tell you that there are three kinds of sentences in all the tenses. This is affirmative sentence, and this can also be written as negative sentence, where it will become Ram does not play cricket. Similarly, I can make it into an interrogative sentence which says, does Ram play cricket? Okay, now here have you seen this sentence was the positive sentence named as affirmative sentence. This was the negative sentence and this is an interrogative sentence. The only difference in these sentences is only affirmative or positive sentences follow this formula. That means there is no helping verb in the affirmative or positive sentences of simple present tense. Whereas when the sentence is negative or when the sentence is interrogative, we have helping verb in the sentences and the helping verb is according to the subject, whether it is singular subject or it is plural subject. If in place of Ram, अगर वहाँ पे I होता था, तो I would have used I do not play cricket or do I play cricket. So I hope simple present tense is very clear. So what did I say? Habit, facts, daily routine, like I wake up early in the morning. Fact, earth is round. Habit, I teach English, or it can also be I speak loudly, or Ram sleeps till late in the morning. That's his habit. Or all time two things. For example, proverbs also come in this category because proverbs are always the same irrespective of the time. Let me give you an example. Silence is golden, whereas speech is silver. This is a very famous proverb of English which comes under simple present tense. I guess this much is clear to all of you and all the examples are clear to you. So, I play cricket, I am a teacher, or earth is round, water boils at 100 degrees Celsius, and then there can also be it generally rains in August. Of course, in India. That's a fact or something that normally happens year after year. It is called as simple present tense. So now that is clear. If you want to copy or take a screenshot of this, you can very well take. Let's move to the next tense, that is simple past tense. Okay, children, the next tense, as the word itself says, we are talking about simple past tense. Now, what is simple past tense? Simple past tense is used for action that got completed at a point of time in past. यानी कि वर्तमान आने से पहले कोई एक्शन पहले ही होके खत्म हो चुका है. These sentences are normally recognized by their verb form, that is V2 form, or the mandatory thing in all the past tenses which we are going to study is time. Time का मतलब होता है कि या तो हम जब वो सेंटेंस पढ़े, लिखें या बोलें, वो एक्शन कब हुआ है वो मेंशन कर दें, या जब हम नहीं भी मेंशन करते हैं, इट इज़ अंडरस्टूड बिटवीन द स्पीकर एंड द लिसनर व्हेन आई mean to tell you that action had happened. Obviously, that action got completed in the past. So, it is used for an action that got completed at a point of time in the past. Now, the formula for simple past tense is subject plus V2 plus object, and then we can also write time, which can be written or which cannot be written. Mentioning the time is optional. Okay, now let's make some example over here. Like I had said, I play cricket. Now let's take the same example. I can say I played cricket. But this itself assumes that this action was completed in the time when it was early. मतलब a time which is not now. अगर मैं इसको और स्पेसिफिक करना चाहती हूँ, I can add a time here. I played cricket yesterday. Now, this makes it more clear. In the examination, normally when we talk about simple past tense as a spoken English form, we do not mention time because it is automatically understood. If I say, I forgot to bring my purse, did I mention the time here? No. It is obviously understood कि I am talking about कि जब मैं घर से आई थी, मैं अपना पर्स लाना भूल गई. It is automatically understood. But when you are writing or filling a verb from the examination point of view, आप लोग को sentence में वो time ज़रूर देंगे so that you can differentiate one sentence from the other sentences and you can make it understand whether the sentence is of past tense, present tense or future tense. So, it is only the factor time which makes you differentiate between the sentences. If there is a point of time written in the sentence or the verb, आपको exam में यहाँ पे gap आएगा and you will have to fill this gap with a verb. And you will decide the verb form looking at the sentence which is after this. If there is a past time mentioned in the sentence, you will fill the verb played over here. I played cricket. Now here I can also say, now let's take another example. मैंने अपने last 2 videos में आपको क्या पढ़ाया था? Verb forms पढ़ाया था. तो I can say Pooja ma'am taught verb forms in her last class. Now see, Pooja ma'am here is the subject, taught is the V2 form, I taught what? I taught verb forms. This is the object. And how did I understand that this is the past tense form from the examination point of view? Because here I had the time phrase. Time phrase means something is written there in the sentence which makes me understand that this sentence belongs to simple past tense. Normally I am mentioning it again that we do not use the time phrase in spoken English, but we use time phrase normally when we write down the sentences from the examination point of view. Okay, let's take some more example. It rained heavily last night. Now again this was very clear because it is subject, this is V2, it rained heavily last night. There is no object in this sentence, but yes, there is a time phrase which mentions that this is a simple past tense sentence. Okay, now these are the 3 examples by means of which I explained you this formula. As I told you that there are 3 kinds of sentences in all the tenses. Here we can also make this sentence was the affirmative, or I can say the positive form of the sentence. I can again change it into negative and interrogative sentence. So you need to understand that we have not used helping verb in the positive or the affirmative form of past or present simple tense, but we will use helping verb when we are going to write down the same sentence into negative or interrogative form. Now let's see how do we. I played cricket yesterday. अब इसको मैं कैसे लिखूंगी पास्ट में? I did not play cricket yesterday. Now see, here I was the subject, did was my helping verb. अब जब हम did लगाते हैं तब एक चेंज और हो जाता है कि जो हम वर्ब फॉर्म लगाते हैं वो V2 के बदले हमेशा V1 ही लगता है, because there is another very important tip of English grammar कि you never use two past tense together. So here we are already using a past tense did, therefore we will not use the word played over here like we have used in this sentence. So we will make the sentence I did not play cricket. Is it clear? अब अगर यहाँ पे I के बदले राम भी होता तो I तो हमारा था प्लूरल सब्जेक्ट और राम होता है हमारा सिंगुलर सब्जेक्ट. In case of past tense there is no difference of helping verb. यहाँ राम के साथ भी did ही आएगा और बाकी का सेंटेंस सेम रहेगा, because the helping verb is same for singular subject and plural subject in case of past tense. Do और does का change सिर्फ simple present tense या present tense के ही subjects में होता है. There is no difference or no change of helping verb when we are talking about past tense. So here my sentence with singular will also take did and my plural verb subject will also take did. So Ram did not play cricket yesterday. Both these sentences were negative sentences. And how do I make interrogative sentence for the same? अगर चलिए राम डिड नॉट प्ले क्रिकेट येस्टरडे, इसका हम इंटरोगेटिव बनाएंगे. सो वेरी इजी, हमको हेल्पिंग वर्ब सामने लगाना है और सब्जेक्ट को बाद में लगाना है. सो माई सेंटेंस विल बिकम डिड राम प्ले क्रिकेट येस्टरडे. नाउन हट जाएगा एंड माई सेंटेंस विल बिकम For interrogative sentence मेरा sentence बनेगा Did Ram play cricket yesterday? So I guess now you are clear about simple past tense, an action that was completed at a point of time in the past. That was the usage, the formula and the example. Is it clear, students? Now let's move to simple future tense. Okay. Now we shall be studying about simple future tense. Okay. As the word itself tells, here we will be talking about the action that is going to happen in future. Time you can mention in the sentence or it can be avoided because it is automatically understood. Okay, fine. So future tenses, here how do you explain the usage of the future tense? It is normally used for the things that you plan to do in future or future planned actions. It is used for things you plan to do in future, or you can also say we use simple future tense to explain future planned actions. The formula for simple future tense is very simple. It is subject plus will or shall plus. With will or shall you always use V1. Subject plus will oblique shall plus V1 plus object, and then it is your choice. If you want to mention the time, you can. If you don't want to mention the time, you can leave it. That is optional because will and shall automatically implies that the sentence is of future tense. It's a very easy tense. So here I can easily tell you the examples for this. For example, I will say, I will play cricket tomorrow. Okay? Or if I say, the train will leave at 10 a.m. today. Now, why am I saying today here? Because maybe, or suppose let's say PM, तो वो ज़्यादा आपको क्लियर हो जाएगा. जब मैं ऐसा बोल रही हूँ कि ट्रेन विल लीव एट 10 PM टुडे, दैट मीन्स कि ये बात मैं आज के 10 PM के पहले बोल रही हूँ, क्योंकि आज की 10 PM होने की है. That's why even if I am writing the word today over here, this makes the sentence as a sentence of simple future tense. But यहाँ पे एक ट्विस्ट है. अगर कोई ऐसा चीज़ है जो फ्यूचर में होने वाला है लेकिन उसको हमने वर्तमान में डिसाइड कर लिया है, उसको बारे में भी, या वो हमेशा होता है, तो उसके लिए भी हम सिंपल, इसको हम कैसे लिख सकते हैं? अगर वो फैक्ट होता, ये मान लीजिए, सॉरी टू मेक इट मोर क्लियर आई विल एक्सप्लेन इट दिस वेज. द ट्रेन विल लीव एट 10 PM टुडे. ये बात सिर्फ आज के लिए सही है, इसीलिए मैंने इसको स्पेसिफिकली मेंशन किया कि ट्रेन आज 10 बजे जाएगी. लेकिन मान लो अगर ट्रेन रोज 10 बजे जाती है, तब हम इसको विल लीव ना करके इसको हम सिंपल प्रेजेंट टेंस में बोलेंगे, और तब हमारा सेंटेंस होता था द ट्रेन लीव्स एट 10 PM डेली. ये मैंने आपको एक सिर्फ कॉन्ट्रास्ट बताने के लिए बता दिया कि ये हो गई उसकी जनरल हैबिट या जनरल फैक्ट कि रोज ट्रेन 10 o'clock जाती है, लेकिन आज हो सकता है थोड़ा सा टाइम में चेंज हुआ होगा, इस वजह से मैंने यहाँ पे सेंटेंस डाला है द ट्रेन विल लीव एट 10 PM टुडे. आई गेस दिस वॉज वेरी क्लियर टू यू. अब मान लो मुझे आज ऐसे दिख रहा है कि इट इज क्वाइट क्लाउडली आउटसाइड एंड देयर इज क्वाइट इट इज क्वाइट पॉसिबल दैट इट माइट रेन टुडे, तो मैं उसको ऐसे बोल सकती हूँ इट विल रेन टुडे, अगर मुझे बहुत ज्यादा श्योर लग रहा है तो. और आई कैन ऑल्सो से इट माइट रेन टुडे, बट देन आई एम नॉट फॉलोइंग द फॉर्मूला ऑफ सिंपल फ्यूचर टेंस, though it's a sentence of simple future tense, because I am assuming that it might rain today. But as per the formula, I will play cricket tomorrow. Or let's take another sentence over here. In the negative form, I will play cricket tomorrow will change into I will not play cricket tomorrow, or the interrogative of the same will become will I play cricket tomorrow. So this is how future tense will also become the three forms of the tenses. Okay children, so we have studied the three simple forms of the tenses today: the simple present, the simple future, and the simple past tense. To summarize with the tense, to summarize all the three tenses, I'll just recollect with the formulas. Subject plus V1 plus object will be used in present tense. Subject plus V2 plus object plus TP. TP here means the time phrase. This formula is used in the past tense. And let's take an example of future tense. The formula here will be subject plus will plus shall plus V1 plus object, and the time is optional. I guess you can recollect these formulas which I have explained just now. Collectively, I'll give you some examples over here. I write articles. Now, this can be my habit. What will it become in the past tense? I wrote articles when I was young. When I was young. This whole thing is my TP. TP means the time phrase which is telling me when I used to write the article. So I wrote articles when I was young. I write articles. This is my simple present tense कि मैं अभी कुछ समय से, a longer duration in the present, मैं आर्टिकल लिखती थी, मैं आर्टिकल लिखती हूँ और आर्टिकल लिखती रहूंगी. And what will it become in simple future tense? It will become I will write articles for newspaper when I retire. ठीक है, दिस इज ऑप्शनल. फ्यूचर टाइम में बता भी सकती हूँ या नहीं भी बता सकती हूँ, बट आई विल राइट आर्टिकल्स व्हेन आई विल गेट टाइम इन फ्यूचर, वट एवर इट इज. तो दिस इज हाउ आई मेक अ सेंटेंस ऑफ सिंपल प्रेजेंट टेंस, सिंपल पास्ट टेंस एंड सिंपल फ्यूचर टेंस. So these three were the affirmative forms of the tenses. That means the forms in which these sentences are written are known as the affirmative forms. And as I told you, we do not use helping verbs in the affirmative, or affirmative is also known as positive forms of the sentences. But when we convert these affirmative sentences into negative or interrogative form of any of these sentences, we can add helping verb in it. So let's write down this. I write articles in negative will become I do not write articles. Okay, so here I have used the helping verb do over here. Now in order to make it interrogative, it will become do I write articles. I hope I'm clear about it. So this was the negative sentence, this was the positive sentence, and this is the interrogative sentences, the three forms of sentences of simple present tense. But we have used the helping verb only in the negative and the interrogative form of this sentence. Now coming to the past tense, I wrote articles when I was young. It can become I did not write articles when I was young. Now you just need to notice here that here we have used do, but the past tense of do is always did. What will be the interrogative form? It will be did I write articles when I was young. The sentence is going to be the same. So here this was the interrogative, this was the negative form, and this was the interrogative form. One more point to tell you कि यहाँ पे I was the first person subject over here, or as I had explained in my last video, that I comes in the group of plural subject. Hence it follows the rule of plural subject, which says when a subject is plural, it takes plural verb, and when a subject is singular, it takes singular verb. So I is considered as plural subject, it takes do. But suppose if I would have taken here word Ravi. Ravi is a singular subject, so instead of write, I would have written here Ravi writes letters. And the interrogative and the negative for this will be Ravi. We will not use do not, we will say Ravi does not write letters, or does Ravi writes letters. So these are the three forms of singular subject, and these are the three forms of plural subject. So the change in the helping verb occurs only in case of present tense, whereas the helping verbs remains the same irrespective of the subject in past tense. So अगर मैंने यहाँ पे राम भी लगाया होता तो मेरा subject बनता, sentence बनता था did Ram write letters in past tense, or did I write letters. So these are the three forms of past tense, three forms of simple present tense, and let's change it into future tense. I will write article for newspaper when I retire. Now the negative will become I will not write letters, whatever I want to say further, and the interrogative will become will I write letters for the newspaper when I get time after retirement. Whatever I wish to say, I can say. So this is the interrogative form, this is the negative form, and this is the positive form of simple future tense. The change in helping verb only occurs in simple present tense, but it is same in case of past tense and in case of future tense. So I hope students you are clear about all the simple forms of three tenses. In my next video, we shall be studying about the continuous tense, the perfect tense, and the perfect continuous tense of all the three tenses. So till then, study hard. Bye.